Hey everyone, it's great to see you this week. This is your video update for this coming weekend. It's going to be a tremendous weekend here at River Point Church. Let me just go through a few things with you to kind of get things started. First of all, it's Red Weekend. If you are a Red Team captain, please make sure you contact your folks, encourage them to be here, to be a part of your team. It's going to be a big time weekend because it's also, you said it, Rodeo Weekend. And with Rodeo Weekend, we always have big crowds. We always have a lot of first-time guests that walk through the doors, and we want to be prepared for them. One of the things about Rodeo Weekend is Patrick Murphy is going to be here with his band, and so is Colby Shepard. Colby is a 10-year-old fiddle-playing, singing, country little dude that is going to knock your socks off in the worship service. So it should be pretty cool to be able to hear him and see him. Chad will also be having his hand in the worship as well. And Patrick is going to come back and look at Staying on Track, our theme for 2012. So he'll be here to preach, so it should be a great weekend as far as worship goes and seeing Rodeo Weekend happen here on campus. Along with that, we always have the petting zoo. And the petting zoo this year, one location will be out near the chicken coop, which is over by the warehouse/barn. The other petting zoo is over by the little tent. And here's how we like to do the things with as far as the petting zoo goes. Make sure that you communicate with your team that the petting zoo is not open before or after the worship service. And the reason why is because the owners of the petting zoo don't want to be overrun with a bunch of children coming in, or if they monitor it and they only can let somebody in at one time, then a line forms and then you have parents standing out there that haven't been to church yet, and it just all of a sudden becomes a big fiasco. So we worked this last year, it worked pretty well, and so we're going to do it again this year, where children who are a part of River Kids, 2 years old on up, their class will actually have time in the petting zoo. So just make sure, those of you who are at Start Here, guest services, other strategic areas, make sure you know that and you have that and you understand that that's where the petting zoo will come into play with River Kids. It's not going to be open before or after the worship service. Also, captains, make sure you have your folks scan in. We're still having some folks on Saturday night, and there's a few on Sunday, a few teams on Sunday, where all the teams are not scanning in. That's why we're doing the head counts, to get an accurate number on that. And then, of course, help us with that over at guest services. Head to the clipboard and make sure you write down the head count for your team for that service. We're also having baptism conversation on Sunday during both services, and that's going to happen in the admin building. And then also, last but not least, there's going to be breakfast time with yours truly. It's going to be great being back on campus this Sunday. So why don't you make plans to have your team here, even if you're blue team. Contact your team this week. Let them know that they're invited, you're invited, everyone on Front Porch is invited to come and celebrate me coming back to the campus here this weekend. It's going to happen in the admin area where all the offices are at. We're going to have breakfast, and that will happen at 8:30 sharp and at 10:30 sharp. So make sure you get your team there. And then what we'll do is we'll just have one big super huddle inside the admin area as we're having breakfast, and we'll go through some information and events that you'll need to know about in these upcoming weeks. It's going to be a great weekend. Again, make sure that you invite a friend, bring somebody alongside you as you come and hang out at River Point this weekend. Hey, one little thought for you before I go. You know, as we say hello to people as they walk through the doors, as we encourage them and we smile at them, we shake their hand, we let them know that they're important and that we're glad to see them. One of the things I read about this week is how important it is to say goodbye to folks as well. So, you know, having folks at the exit doors as they leave is so important, and it's critical because we can remind them, hey, we'll see you next weekend, have a great week, hey, we'll be praying for you, drive safe. Any little thing like that where you can tell them goodbye in a way that's positive, that leaves them wanting to come back again, is something that we want to do. We want to plant that seed as they get ready to leave. Instead of having a door that is abandoned and nobody's standing there and they got to open the door themselves and kind of find their way out, it just is so much better if we can have a greeter at each door as they exit. So captains, make sure that you cover that with your greeters this weekend, and make sure that we've got coverage at all exit doors. Anyways, that's it for now. Have a great week. It's going to be great to see you this coming weekend. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you at church.